Hello, I'm Ariana Hunter, real estate broker and financial expert. And today we're going to be talking about, we're still talking about mobile homes, but we're going to be talking about just changing subjects right now. We're going to be talking about the benefits of living out in the country. The reason for this is because I believe that a lot of people are considering that option, especially people who live in the East Coast, in the West Coast. They don't have no space, and so they might consider that, and a lot of people are considering them. People who have a second home already, we know that all they do is go to their second home, and we all have to be indoors. It's true, but it is more space, and so they don't feel claustrophobic or enclosed.
Actually, okay, one of the great things, I was not a country person. Like, I am not having that. I like the suburbs for a long time. And I still do. I like the comfort of going to Dunkin' and Donuts and it's down the street. But in
Yes.
exchange for giving up my iced coffee every morning, I get space. And I get the affordability. Like, one of the things that was a consideration was the monthly. I could go and rent an apartment for about $850.
They have apartments?
They do have apartments in that area. They're not very common though. Really
Okay, no, they're still trying to build out.
They still are, but they're not very common. Maybe like 1 or 2 units in the area where I'm currently at. But for the most part, is you can go and get an apartment for about $875, which is a 1-bedroom, 1 bath.
Mm-hmm.
In the country, $875 is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath,
Wow.
double wide home.
Okay.
And I mean, that's with all the upgrades and
everything
you could think of.
So
that's something to consider, because if you were to buy a new mobile home, I'm getting all the space, more than plenty of bedrooms, restrooms, outdoors living space for my kids. We can even have farm animals, things like that.
That's true. That's one of the less restrictions. Is a good
less
thing.
Restrictions. People tend to keep to themselves. You keep to yourself. You have a lot more freedoms than if you were to be
restricted by all the covenants. Yes. And
you don't have HOAs. There's no HOAs there.
Okay. That's something to consider if you start trying to think of saving, because those condominiums are predatory. They have to pay, and I wonder what people are going to do with that situation. But we'll talk about that in another video.
Actually, that's another thing to consider. Maybe we'll make a small video about that as far as waste goes and how waste management is taken care of outside of the city.
No, but that's something you have to consider. So, how about Uber? How about transportation?
Yeah, like I said, those things, like those, those conveniences are not there just yet, probably. Let me say that, just yet. But right now, Uber, DoorDash, things like that, because it is out, there's a certain area where they will come up to, and then they won't come out.
How about schooling?
That's actually a great thing. One of the things I do like about it is that they come and get your kid from the front door.
Really?
They'll come and the bus will come to your driveway, get your kid.
But they have to wake up way earlier.
Yeah, the kids do have a longer day. They have a mini commute, in the morning. Okay. They have to get up a little bit earlier and get to school and come back. But you have that option of them. Definitely, school transportation is an option just because they live so far out. So okay, that's how the.
Well, for now, in the way we live in today, we don't know how long we're gonna be like this, but it will be.
But that's
Zoom or like whatever.
Right now
Google
they're doing
Classroom.
distant learning, so.
Okay, so it wouldn't be. So pretty much, the benefits are many.
Yes.
There are many benefits. Yes, if you're used to people, you will feel like,
where's
everybody?
You will feel alone. I felt so lonely for the longest. I was like, there's no one here. Mm-hmm. And you know what? You see a lot of truckers.
Dark and quiet and scary at night because they don't have the city lights.
Yeah,
right?
You don't have city lights.
Mm-hmm.
Your light is actually when you put your meter and your light post.
It's the only one there.
So that's the only one there until you put one. Otherwise, you have no lighting.
You put up there. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so there's no lighting. There is
trash.
Okay, trash very much depends on you really, and how much your home produces and how you're gonna get rid of it. There is trash services, sanitation companies that come out and you can buy the big old dumpster. Rent it monthly and pay your monthly. Mm-hmm. Some people burn, which means they collect all their trash, and then on certain days, weather permitting, you can burn. But that's another thing. There's not a whole lot of recycling.
So also for the elderly, if or people who are needing medical.
I wouldn't suggest it for someone older or who might need assistance living constantly because it is a lot on one to just get around.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, the medical attention's further out. They might not be able to tend to things that they would tend to if they were, in a community. Just because, like I said, there's things that you need to be done on a daily. Just because you're not in a developed area, you're out.
Mm-hmm.
Other than outside of your home, it is still
country.
Mm-hmm. And that's the point. You don't want people around people, but there's still things that you need to do. You need to consider. The other thing you need to consider is I found a scorpion the other day.
Oh wow! Well, nature
wants to cohabit. Yeah, nature wants to cohabit, and it's not nature like your animals. Like if you have ranch animals, like we have goats and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the animals want to come in. So we found a scorpion in the hallway. It's not like your dogs and cats. You find whatever out there.
So yeah, you
Coyotes,
have to be okay with that.
Javelinas, things like that. Pigs, wild pigs, and
there's something staring at us. Come in. Okay.
Consider your neighbors. Consider
So you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
So
taking on the wild.
Yeah, taking on and being okay with that. Okay. Well, for the right price, I think everybody will consider that.
$200 a month.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of people who live on Social Security and fixed income. Yes. Well, if they're older, like say the sacrifice is if they're healthy.
And you have to consider maintenance of your land too, because you're gonna need someone to have to go cut, cut like I said, the wildlife and just nature takes over
if you don't maintain.
So you gotta keep maintaining. So it's a lot of physical maintenance on the home. It just depends.
It depends upon what kind of.
So that's the thing
vegetation
to consider. Your vegetation, and then are you gonna get a John Deere?
Mm-hmm.
How are you gonna cut that grass?
That is a place to have one.
So
wow. So everything's further, like your
grocery stores are further, your shopping, school. So that comes into maintenance, car maintenance, tire maintenance.
But then you have to calculate in the savings if it's gonna be worth it.
Yes.
The savings. If you're not someone who commutes a whole lot, then it might be beneficial.
That's found that.
But if you need to be somewhere every day, so those are the things you consider. You might consider having two homes. You might consider one in something smaller in the city.
You have that,
and one in the country.
And sometimes people just go for the weekend,
mm-hmm.
on barbecues, whatever they're gonna do,
right?
On their land.
That's true.
And have get-togethers and things like that. So those are things to consider.
Very good. Well, this is all we're gonna cover for today, and thank you for watching. I hope this has helped you. Till next time.